My husband spent 5 years threatening divorce every time he didn't get his way. Yesterday, I finally gave him exactly what he keeps threatening. We've been married for 8 years, and for the last 5, he's used divorce as his trump card to win every argument. I burned dinner, he's calling a lawyer. I forgot to pick up his dry cleaning. Maybe we should separate. I disagreed about what color to paint the bathroom. This marriage isn't working. At first it destroyed me. I'd cry and beg and apologize for whatever triggered him just to make him take it back. He'd get this satisfied look and say he'd give me another chance, but I needed to try harder. Then it became this sick pattern where anytime I stood my ground about anything, he'd go straight to, well, maybe we should just get divorced then. Want to visit my sister for her birthday? Divorce threat. Think we should save money instead of buying his third gaming console? Divorce threat. Ask him to help with housework? You guessed it, divorce threat. The worst part was he'd say it so casually, like he was suggesting we order pizza. No emotion, just, guess this marriage is over. And then he'd wait for me to panic and cave to whatever he wanted. My friend Emma witnessed it once when I said I didn't want to go to his boss's party because I had a migraine. He immediately goes, if you can't support my career, maybe we need to reconsider this relationship, right in front of her. She was shocked, but I just said fine, whatever, and went to the stupid party with a splitting headache because that's what I always did. He even started using it for tiny things. I bought the wrong brand of milk and he goes, this is why divorces happen, because people don't listen. I left a light on and he says, wasteful people make terrible partners. Maybe I should find someone else. But the second I'd say, okay, let's talk about divorce seriously, he'd backtrack saying I was overreacting and he was just expressing frustration. And why was I so dramatic? Last month was our anniversary and I spent all day cooking his favorite meal, setting up candles, trying to make it special. He came home late, no apology. And when I asked where he'd been, he goes, questioning if I even want to come home to someone so needy, maybe we should end this. On our fucking anniversary. I just went to bed, didn't even argue. 3 weeks ago, everything changed. We were arguing about him forgetting my birthday completely, not even a card. And when I got upset, he said his favorite line, if you're going to be like this about everything, I want a divorce. I said, okay. He laughed and goes, don't be ridiculous, you know I don't mean it. And I said, no, I agree, we should divorce. His whole demeanor changed and he starts backtracking, saying he was just stressed and didn't mean it. But I was done. I hired a lawyer that week, started separating finances, found an apartment, did everything quietly while he kept living his life thinking his little threat game still worked. He even threw out a few more divorce threats during those 3 weeks about laundry and grocery shopping, and each time I just said, you're right. And he'd smirk thinking he'd won. Yesterday morning, he woke up to me packing boxes. He asks what I'm doing and I said moving out. He laughs and goes, stop being dramatic, what is this about now? I handed him the divorce papers, real ones, from a real lawyer, with court dates and everything. His face went from smug to confused to terrified in about 3 seconds. He starts stuttering that this is crazy, we can work it out. He never wanted this. I pulled out my phone and played a recording from my lawyer's suggestion of him threatening divorce 17 times in the last month alone. January 3rd, you want a divorce because I bought wheat bread. January 5th, divorce because I wore the red dress you don't like. January 8th, divorce because I sneezed during your show. And so on. He's begging now, saying it was just his way of expressing himself and he never meant any of it. I said, you've asked for divorce approximately 300 times in 5 years. I'm just giving you what you want. He actually started crying, saying I'm his whole world, and he can't live without me. I said, weird, because according to you yesterday, you wanted a divorce because I folded your shirts wrong. He tried to rip up the papers like that would matter, and I said, those are copies. Real ones are filed at court. You wanted a divorce every time you didn't get your way. Well, now you're getting your way. Congratulations, you're getting divorced. He followed me around for hours, alternating between begging and getting angry, saying I'm throwing away our marriage over nothing. I said, no, you threw it away over milk and shirts and every other tiny thing you threatened to leave me over. I'm just finishing what you started 300 times. Moving out today, and he sent me 40 texts about how he's changed and will never say the D word again. Too late. He wanted a divorce so badly he can have it all by himself.